Mortal Kombat Deception is the follow-up to 2002's MK Deadly Alliance, which brought the classic gory fighting game series up to modern standards. Deception adds a bunch of new characters and some surprising new modes of play, and on the previously released PS2 and Xbox versions, it let you take the action online. That's not possible in the new Gamecube version of the game, though to make up for that and lost time, you get a couple of exclusive characters whom MK fans are going to enjoy. MK Deception earned our Fighting Game of the Year award last year with good reason. It's a fun, fast-paced game that's not too difficult for MK fans to pick up and start playing, and it's got a good amount of depth and variety under the hood. The core one-on-one action is definitely the best part of the game, and it's completely intact in the Gamecube version of the game. As an MK fan who's played Deception on the PS2 and Xbox already, I found the Gamecube version to be pretty much identical to those versions. But the addition of classic MK bosses Goro and Shao Kahn is definitely a nice touch here. It'd take a real hardcore fan to drop $50 just to play as those two, but fans will want to find some means of checking this version out if they want to see these guys in action in full 3D. The game runs fast and smooth and has a good responsive feel to it. Animations can look a little choppy sometimes, but the gore effects are over the top, and the game has a great look to it overall. The audio is just as hard-hitting as you'd expect from an MK game, too. Characters each have several different fighting styles, plus a bunch of combos that let them string together moves from different styles in some cases. To counter that, you've got combo breakers, which you can strategically use to throw off your opponent. You've also got to be on the lookout for death traps, which can end a round early in a rather nasty fashion. These are actually quite a fun addition to the game. And of course, you've got your fatalities here, which are as brutal as ever. The game's even got self-fatalities in it, which are great. It's also great that MK Deception went out of its way to throw in modes like puzzle combat, chess combat, and conquest, but these turn out to be better in theory than in execution. I just kept going back to the arcade mode after messing with these for a while. Actually, another nice touch in the Gamecube version is that you've got 20 characters available from the get-go, while there are only a dozen on the Xbox and PS2. You had to go through the pretty tedious Conquest mode to unlock half the game's roster, whereas here you can kind of ignore it for a while unless you want to find every last extra. MK Deception is a great fighting game in its own right, but it's really a tribute to Mortal Kombat fans. As someone who's been playing MK since it came out back in '91, I really enjoyed this installment, particularly since it introduced online play to the series. But if you don't really care about that aspect and you've held out on picking up a copy of the game, this version's a good one since the two extra characters definitely stand out.